But first, to a story which should concern any Australian who values the principles of debate and free discussion. Now, we've spoken on this show many times about a campaign being waged against this network from one of the country's most powerful politicians, a former Prime Minister turned US ambassador. We showed you how Kevin Rudd was using his taxpayer-funded office and his taxpayer-funded staffer, Jared Owens, to bombard the broadcast regulator ACMA with dozens of complaints about Sky News. He made 80 complaints related to content between the short period of October and December in 2021. Now, think about how much Sky News this man and his team would need to watch to get to that number. Well, this week, the regulator rejected 72 of those complaints and upheld just 8. So mistakes can happen on air, and we should have scrutiny over us. But when 90% of these complaints are rejected, it makes me think that the scrutiny from Rudd is not genuine and is purely vexatious. And for that reason, it was extremely disappointing to see ACMA hand down its decision and fail to address the fact that all of the complaints came from one man, a politician. Now, it has been pointed out to me that ACMA does not name complainants to protect their identities. But when you have a powerful politician using these mechanisms to censor topics or ideas they disagree with, surely the source is important context. Perhaps that rule needs to be reformed so we can drag political interference in journalism from the shadows into the light. And because ACMA wasn't clear about who made the complaints, ironically, it caused other media outlets to misreport the story. The Guardian falsely attributed the complaints to Malcolm Turnbull's Australians for a Murdoch Royal Commission group and included quotes from the former Prime Minister gloating about the victory. The ACMA investigated the complaints from campaign group Australians for a Murdoch Royal Commission, which at the time of the complaints was chaired by former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd. Now, that is just false. It was Rudd who made the complaints through his office on official Australian government letterhead with the use of tax dollars. That's your money. It is such a crucial fact, but the Guardian's reporter simply fell for the spin and printed false information. Now, unlike us, the Guardian is not regulated by any Australian body, so that fake news will likely not be addressed. It is stunning to me that some journalists are so ideologically compromised that they celebrate the oppression of debate and turn a blind eye to coordinated censorship campaigns. No matter where you sit on the political spectrum, we let our institutions be hijacked in secret by political interests, then every free-thinking Australian loses. Well, let's bring in tonight's panel, and I'm pleased to say I'm joined by YouTuber and commentator Daisy Cousins and Sky News host Caroline DeRusso. Daisy, why don't we start with you? The issue that I take with ACMA's approach in the statement in not revealing that the 80 complaints came from one person, a politician, was that it makes it look like all the punters out there watching us are making complaints, that there's this widespread community issue as opposed to a coordinated political campaign.
Well, completely, and that really is the point here. I mean, this isn't sort of all the punters out here, and those are two very, very different issues and very, very different perspectives. It gives a totally false image of the situation to the public, which is particularly egregious because the public is paying for it. As you said, these are taxpayer dollars being used. So, and I just, I find it really upsetting in my mind that this is how Kevin Rudd has chosen to spend his golden years. He's sort of sitting there going over reams and reams of outsiders. I just have this sad little image of a man, wearing a little tin-foil hat and a notepad scrolling away and sort of muttering to himself. He probably has dreams about Rupert Murdoch, in my opinion. You never know.
He's just so angry,
I know,
Caroline.
he's so angry.
Why is Kevin Rudd so angry?
Oh, Kevin Rudd is angry because it all started out very well for Kevin Rudd, and he did not have his exit from politics in the way that he would have liked. Kevin has never been fabulous at introspection, and so, he's taking it out apparently on a whole range of people across, politics and media and elsewhere. Look, he is... he has not taken post-politics life probably as graceful as he could have been. This is one lesson that he could take from Julia Gillard, who has been impeccable as far as post-politics life has been. But look, now hopefully that he is the ambassador in the US, we can only hope that he dials down the venom because, quite frankly, it's unbecoming.
Yeah, well, I think we'll see very shortly whether he starts to alienate everybody over there as well. I don't know how well he goes at, maintaining relationships. It's always been a struggle for him.